was talking about the desire to be able to stand taller and be in good posture more often. One of the things that I think a lot of yoga teachers do anyway, and probably if you are a regular practitioner of yoga, is that, you know, when we're just out there in our day, we tend to reset ourselves. And that's kind of the beauty of a yoga practice, is because every reset that you do adds a little bit of reconditioning into your body. So it's kind of a lovely thing, I think. But it's also kind of funny. I realized that if people were to just have a video of me all day long doing the things I need to do throughout my day, it might look a little funny, because I'm not just cooking, or I'm not just waiting in line or whatever, but I'm resetting my body, resetting my stance, and then going about whatever I'm doing, and then resetting again, and then going about whatever I'm doing. And that's what yoga is all about, right? Because yoga is a practice. I like to say it's a practice, not a perfect. And the lovely thing about that is that there's always more to practice. There's always more to learn. There's always more to figure out. And so we have this laboratory on our mats that we can come to work on the details. But then when we take them off of our mats, that's when the actual practice of yoga begins, right? So yoga has an 8-limbed path. There are 8 parts to it. And the actual physical practice is only one of the 8 parts. And then the other parts of it all kind of come together to make a yoga practice. And so as we practice today, we'll tune into the details of alignment, then the invitation is to somewhere else in your day, notice those same principles of alignment. So shift your sitting bones. And as you rest your hands down, give a good press. So we've been focusing a lot on grounding, right? Because we've tuned into the air and ether time of year, or it's beginning anyway. And that's when you stop feeling quite so grounded. So push into the ground, physically use some muscle to push into the ground. Sit a little taller, find that tilt of your pelvis so your belly is coming forward. Shoulders are up and back, let your eyes close. And take a full deep breath in this tall spine. Connect palms together at heart center, and as you push your palms together, let that press help you to lift up a little bit higher with your entire rib cage. Your shoulders again draw up and back. Take a deep inhale here, and exhale, bow toward your heart. Then as you softly open your eyes, release your hands down. And again, shoulders up and back. This is a big part of our posture, right? If you have to sit at a desk, and that lifting up and back of your shoulders, tilting forward with your pelvis. Now bring your hands out in front of you to connect. Elbows lift to shoulder height. I like to fondly call these ballerina arms. If you haven't done this for me in a while, or with me in a while, not for me, it's for you. Push your fingertips together. Take a big exhale. Round back through your upper back, so you're expanding into your ribs and upper back with your shoulder blades. Take a full big deep breath here. Then inhale, sit tall, turn up and open through your palms, elbows hug in by your sides, gratitude arms. And as you expand and open through your chest, lift your heart up high. This is one of those things that I do throughout my day, especially if I have to sit at the desk. So take a couple big breaths right here and just notice the expansion through collarbones, through your chest, through your pecs. Then bring fingertips together again, expanding into your upper back, take your chin down. This time add a little bit of movement here through your shoulders, letting your back body expand. Then up and open again, gratitude arms, elbows hug in, take a full big breath. And now hands come behind your back to clasp. And as you stay bent through your elbows, palms pressing in, start to hug elbows back toward each other. and maybe begin to lift your hands away from your back, if that's in your practice. But as you do that, oftentimes we end up locking our joints. A little bend to your elbows. Keep your palms pressing. Take a big, deep breath. Then release your hands, bring your fingertips to the floor just in front of you and push. As you push, grounding, round your upper back again into that cat-like pose. And then feel that space in between your shoulder blades expand as you take a deep breath. Inhaling, rising back up, switch the cross of your legs, coming to the less comfortable cross for yourself. Switch your sitting bones, shift your sitting bones. And then hands come in front to clasp, pull forward with your arms, round back through your spine. This time, big side to side movement. Then back into center, tall through your spine, push your palms forward. Plug in with your shoulder blades, pulling them onto your back, and then lift up with your arms. As you lift up and lift your chest, oftentimes our low ribs pop forward. So take a big exhale and engage low belly, low ribs here. Inhale, lift your chest up a little higher. Now exhale, draw your low ribs in and twist to the left side. So you're trying to keep your low back, your hips stationary, but take a twist from your low ribs. Inhale, come back into center. Exhale, low ribs draw in as you twist to the right side. Inhale, come back into center. Release your hands, walk them out to your knees, and then press your spine back into a cat-like pose. Inhale, circle your ribs out to the left side, all the way around the front, and exhale back on the right. Two more on this side. Inhale, circle around to the left, and exhale back on the right. One more, full inhale, long, deep exhale. Then inhale, circle to the right, and exhale back on the left. Inhale to circle, and exhale to draw back. One more time, full inhale, long, deep exhale. Then inhale, sit tall, shift forward onto your hands and your knees. And from hands and knees, take a moment to set yourself up. Wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. And push hands into the ground as you rotate upper arm moon, so elbow pits are turning forward. And then sway your hips gently side to side, starting to tune into the outside edges of your legs, even as your shoulders stay stable. Then bring your hips back into center and even reset your knees. And as you tuck your toes under, move your inner thighs back so you feel your belly drop a little bit downward. And then pull in with your low belly. Squeeze your low glutes. And now side to side sway with your shoulders. This action of swaying either hips or shoulders is a great way to help us find that length from hip to armpit, to expand. Check in with our spines. Then back into center with your toes tucked under. Your elbow pits are rotating forward. Push again, and then lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog pose. And then take a moment to slowly pedal. As you slowly pedal, this is an opportunity to tune into one side and the other side of each of your legs. Noticing the backs of your legs, your hips, your low back. And then walk your way forward, coming into your forward fold at the front of your mat. Take an inhale and lengthen part way. Exhale to fold over your legs. Hands to hips, push your hips back, start to lift up and open through your shoulders and rise all the way up to standing. And then if you're like me, you still have your socks on, go ahead and take them off. Okay, so balance onto your left foot. If you want to, you can hold on to a wall or a chair with your left hand. Bring your right knee into your hand and then open it up to the right side. And pause for a moment here. Move your upper thigh back on your standing leg, creating a little space right in the hip crease. Now, wrap your glute down and under on your right leg so your knee turns more upright. Inhale, come back into center, give your knee a squeeze into your chest. And exhale, release your foot to the ground. Okay? Second side, right foot balances. Lift your left knee up into your chest. Maybe hold on to a wall here or a chair. Push your hip crease back first this time. So you're creating a little upper thigh bone movement back. And then rotate open. Try to keep your thigh bone back. Wrap your glute down and under on your lifted leg. Flex your foot, lift your chest. And inhale, come back into center. Give your knee a squeeze. And exhale, release your foot down. Now hands come together at your heart. Feet are in or hip bone distance apart and parallel. Fire up your feet, lift and spread your toes. And then push down. Inhale, stretch up overhead. Exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale, lengthen part way. Keep your sitting bones lifting, your chest expanding forward. Exhale, fold. Blocks, if you would like, step your right foot back into your lunge. Try and plant your right heel so your foot's parallel to the back of your mat. Inhale, rise up into your warrior two, pushing into the ground with your feet. As you open your knee up, we just did this while standing balanced. Wrap your glute down and under so your knee opens more, and then bend into that place of stacking, shin straight up and down. Take a big breath. Good. On your exhale, both hands come down to the front of your mat. Tuck your back toes, work your back knee to the ground, and then bring your hands to the inside of your front leg and heel toe your front foot open. So toes and knee are aimed in the same direction. And from this place, as you extend your heart forward, lift the front of your foot up on your left leg. Push down with your heel. See if you can feel your glute fire up on the left side. Push down with your back knee so you have a little lift of your upper thigh. And then you're going to start to rotate on that pivot point of your heel, turning open and closed with your left knee. And now keeping it open, you're going to move forward and back with your hips, getting into the hips a little bit differently now. Good, and then bring your foot back into center. Heel toe it back in. Plant your hands and step back, downward facing dog pose. Take a moment in your down dog, find that rotation of upper arm bones, and push from your lats all the way out through your hands, and allow that push to help you extend your sitting bones further up. Inhale, come forward into your plank. Use knees if you'd like to. Keep rotating elbow pits forward, and exhale, lower down. Inhale, rooting into the ground with your legs and your hands. Rise up as high as your body is ready for. But what I want you to notice is if you rise up high and your shoulders are forward, you're squishing up towards your ears, maybe come down a little ways so you can expand your chest. Exhale, downward facing dog pose. And now inhale, lift your right leg to the sky. You can do this from hands and knees as well if you want to. Lift your right leg up, and if you want to, you can turn open with your right hip, but keep your shoulders stationary and steady. And then step right foot forward in between your hands. Again, you can always bring your back knee onto the ground for that. But work it forward so that you have an ankle stacked underneath your knee as that starting point. And then turn and plant your back heel. Inhale, rise up to your warrior two, pushing into the floor with your feet. Then bend into your front knee and open it up. Lift your ribs, your chest apart. Take a full big breath. On your exhale, both hands come down to the front of your mat. You're tapping your back toes and bringing your back knee to the ground. Walk hands to the inside and then heel toe your front foot open so that your knee and toes are aimed in the same direction. And from this place, lift the front part of your foot up so that you have your heel as your pivot point and push. As you push, maybe you'll feel that firing up all the way up into your glute. Push your back knee down and let your hip lift a little bit. And then start to open and close with your front knee, finding that pivot. Then opening it as much as your body is ready for, start just a little gentle forward and back movement here through your hips. Then back into center. Let your hands, and again, step back. Downward facing dog pose. You can always stay in down dog, or you can come to hands and knees, or even a child's pose. But wherever you are, take a big deep breath. If you're in your down dog, then rotate elbow pits forward and push. Send your sitting bones up. Inhale, come forward into a plank. Knees come down if you want. Rotate elbow pits again and push. Extend your chest and lower down. Inhale, curl up and open. Again, as high as your body needs. That might be low, that might be medium, that might be high. Take a deep breath. Next, exhale, downward facing dog pose. Full deep inhale, long full exhale. Out, and then from your down dog, I almost forgot, lift your left leg to the sky. So you need to do the second side here. Turn open with your hip. Take a big deep breath. Keep your shoulders elevated. It's really tempting to turn through your shoulders, especially that right one needs to stay lifted. And then step left foot forward and step right foot forward, coming into your forward fold. Take an inhale and lengthen part way. Exhale and fold over your legs. Hands to hips. Push your hips back. Start to lift up and open through your shoulders and rise all the way up to stand. And now from standing, feet are inner hip distance apart and parallel. Lift and spread your toes and root them down. Bring your hands together at your heart. Close your eyes and take a full breath. Good. Softly open your eyes and we will do a little reset of the body. You'll basically have a little insight into how we nerds of yoga teachers set ourselves up when maybe we're out in public standing in line or doing the dishes. So grab a block or something like a block. It can always be a more firm pillow. And set it in between your thighs. And from that place, you're going to squeeze into the block a little bit and then bring your feet to parallel. So think of second toe back to the middle of your ankle as the line to make parallel with the other side. Lift and spread your toes and then root them down. And then with this thing in between your thighs, you're going to hug into it and rotate your inner thighs back so your object, your block or your pillow, is going to move back a little ways. As you do that, your butt will stick out, right? So you're creating a little lumbar curve, a little space through the low back. And then engage your low glutes, engage your low belly, pull it in. Okay, so you're still moving the block back, but you're engaging around it. Keep your toes pushing down, push into the floor and stand a little taller, lengthen from hip to armpit. Now, fingertips come out in front of you like we did when we were sitting for our ballerina arms. Push, and as you exhale, expand your upper back. Keep the lumbar curve, but expand your upper back. Now open your elbows up into gratitude, lift your shoulders up and back, lift your head back. And as your head moves back, think of an imaginary wall back there. Send your head back straight too. You can still look straight ahead. You don't have to tilt your head up. So take a big deep breath right here. Push down into the floor and stand taller. Good, okay. So now take the block away and balance onto your left foot. Lift your right knee up into your chest. Turn it open, and now you can be right here holding onto your knee, or you can take a hold of your foot and set your foot wherever you need it to be on the side of your leg. It can be up high on your upper thigh. It can be down low on your calf if you want. You can take a kickstand here if you want to. Wherever that is for you, hug in with the muscles of your legs. Even imagine a misshapen block that you're squeezing into. And then move your inner thighs back so your butt sticks back. And then engage your low belly and your low glutes. Pull them in. Push into the floor, stand taller. Now bring your fingertips out in front of you, ballerina arms, and push. Expand your upper back. Then open up into gratitude. Lift your shoulders up and back. Lift your head up. Take a big deep breath. Good. Hands back to your hips. Set your foot back down. And then find your balance onto your right foot. Bring your left knee up into your hands, just like we started with our first balance. Turn it open here, and then find where your tree pose is. Maybe it's up high, maybe it's down low, maybe it's a kickstand. Maybe you hold on to your knee. That's okay too, because you can do the half version of this gratitude. So find where that is for you. And now move your inner thighs back. And then engage your low glutes, low belly. Pull them in. Good. And now lift. Push down into the floor. Lengthen. Fingertips in front. And again, you can do this with one hand. Push and expand. Good. Then open up. Gratitude. Lift your chest. Lift your heart. Lengthen from your upper palate. Good. One more breath. Then gently release your foot down, hands to your heart. Close your eyes and take a full breath. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale, lengthen part way. Exhale, fold. Plant hands and step back into a hands and knees position. Pause here, push, expand your upper back, and then tilt your sitting bones up, and then tilt your sitting bones down. Round into a cat-like pose, settle hips back towards your heels into a child's pose, and then inch your fingertips a little further forward, sway your hips a little side to side, let your head rest down, take a couple of deep breaths. And then gently push yourself up to a seat. Come all the way down onto sitting bones. And then we're going to come all the way down onto our backs. And make sure that you can reach a block. And now set the block in between your thighs or in between your knees, your footprints on the ground. And then take your hands to your upper thighs and give a good push, so that you have a little rotation here or a tilt of your pelvis. Your belly lifts, your low back lifts a little bit, but your hips stay on the ground. Keep that lift and engage your low glutes, your low belly. Now take your hands to your rib cage. And as you take an exhale, you're going to keep that lumbar curve where you could actually slip a hand underneath your low back and there'd be space for it. But hands come to your ribs, and as you exhale, hug your ribs in toward each other, and even think of your low ribs moving to the ground. Keep that lumbar curve even as your low ribs move down. Fingertips are above you here in your ballerina arms. Push and expand even more into your upper back. Take a big exhale. Then open your elbows up, coming into that gratitude place, turning your palms. So it's like your cactus or your goalpost. Send your low ribs down, but keep the lumbar curve. Take a big deep breath. Good. And then relax everything, because that's a lot of work. Now, knees pull up into your chest, and you can still have the block here. We're going to rock side to side with our legs, just to give the low back a little bit of massage action. Then back into center. Hug the block with your legs, and your legs become a tabletop. Hands come to your thighs and push, but resist. And as you push into your thighs, think of your low back getting to find that lift, but then engage your low glutes, your low belly, your low ribs. And then set your feet down, take the block out from in between your legs, walk your feet out wide, your arms can be in whatever position is comfortable, and then sway your legs side to side, windshield wiper. Getting that reset through your rib cage, or not your rib cage, but your spine. Getting that reset through your glutes, your quads. And now coming back into center here, drop your knees in together to touch. And then reach your arms overhead for a long stretch here. So you can always take a hold of your hands and clasp. You can always just reach through your fingertips. But as you reach, think of allowing your low back to lift. And then take a really big breath into your back body, having the intention of staying reaching, but moving your back body toward the ground with your breath. Then release your arms down by your side and start to set yourself up into the most comfortable resting pose that you can today. So maybe set a bolster underneath your knees. Maybe find blocks underneath your knees in a butterfly. Maybe set something underneath your neck or underneath your spine. Or maybe just stay with your knees bent and touching. Take some full deep breaths as you start to settle in. And allow your body to release, relax, and let go. Begin to take a deeper breath. Gently add movement into fingers and into toes. Slowly bend your knees and make your way to your side and take a deep breath. Then press, root into the ground to bring yourself back upright to your seat. And now take one hand to your heart, and then peace fingers on the other hand to the ground beside you, and press. As you press, feel your heart lift. Shoulders are up and back, your eyes closed. Take a deep breath into your whole body, your whole self, expanding in all directions. Have a very peaceful, beautiful day. Namaste. Thanks, everybody.